Hello everyone, so in this video we'll be once again looking at multiple linear regression, but this time we'll be seeing how to account if your variables have any interaction with each other. So let's say we have a multiple linear regression model which has two predictor variables x1 and x2 as shown here. So this is the equation that we'll be fitting the model to. Uh, However, if there is interaction between the variables x1 and x2, by interaction what I mean is a classic way of explaining interaction would be this. So let's say there is a common variable between two variables, variable 1 and variable 2. For a particular value of response below that, one of the variables will always be higher than the other variable, and beyond that point the other variable will be higher than the previous variable. So as you can see here, for the orange variable it's consistently below the blue one for a particular value of response, but beyond that the orange variable has a much greater value compared to that of your blue variable. So this is what it means by interaction. So when you have such interactions, they can actually result in uh, false or misleading conclusions can arise from your fitting model. So this must be accounted for when we are uh, doing multiple linear regression. The way to account for that is by introducing another term which is a product of these two, which should account for the interaction. So now let's go to jump and see how to do the multiple linear regression with by adding interaction terms. So I'm going to jump, and here so I'm going to analyze fit model, and here I'm adding thickness as my y response. And now, so there are different ways to add interaction. So let's say I'm adding this variable, and then now if I want to add a interaction between react 1 and react 2, I choose them by holding control, and then I can say cross. So this is one way of adding, but however we have five variables here, and there is a way where we can add all the variables along with the interactions at once. So what you do is choose all the variables, and then you can come to macros and then say factorial to degree. So here you can see all the individual variables have been added. Other than that, all the possible two-way interactions have been added. Here we mentioned degree as 2, so we have only two-way interactions, but we can also include three-way interactions by just changing the number to 3, but at the moment I'm just going to leave it at 2. Once you add this, you can say run. So jump will do the regression fitting for all the using all the predictor variables and their interaction. So as you can see in this effect summary, we're showing all the the parameters and their respective p-values arranged in ascending order, and this is residuals. As we know, residuals are randomly distributed here around the zero line. So, and same thing can be seen in the studentized residuals, which says that this model is a good fit. And also a few other things that you can, so this is the scaled estimates of uh, the parameters. And as you can see, there are uh, depending on the number of interactions, there are like I think 19 variables here other than the five main variables. So, and here we have the prediction profiler. So one way to look at the interaction is through this prediction profiler. So now when I move the line for react 2, you can see how time changes. As you can see, beyond below us, for a certain value of react 2, time is less, but then it keeps increasing, and then it goes beyond. So there is another way where we can see all the possible interactions. So the way to observe that is by going to the rectangle option here, and then saying factor profiling, and then say interaction plots. So this shows a scatter matrix kind of thing, and it shows all the possible interactions that can occur with between variables. So now you can see between react2 and time there is interaction, and also between react1 and time there is interaction. On the other hand, if you see a react1 and vessel number, they have no interaction. Same with react1 and shift. So this is the other way of looking at the interactions other than using your prediction profiler. Also, by default, when you're adding interactions, you see that your ANOVA table does not show up. So you can open that by going to the red triangle option, regression reports. You can also, summary of it is not visible, so you can open up that. And yeah, so now if you remember from the ANOVA table, you can see that the p-value is significant, and f ratio is also higher than 1. And if you remember, the r square value was 0.8, but now it's slightly higher at 0.82. The RMSE was 0.66 when we didn't include the two-way interactions, but now it's reduced to 0.63. So sometimes yeah, adding two-way interaction improves the model fitting that you are doing to your data. So the variables must be carefully selected, but as you can see from this p values here for these different variables, not all of them have a significant p value, meaning many of them have p values greater than 0.05. So that means some of these two-way interactions are not significant. So we might have to carefully choose which variables we don't want. So that is something I'll be talking about in my next video.